I met the inspector today so that he can approve this stage that was done of the foundation digging. If you've been following some of my videos, you have taken note that I'm recording every step of the way, whereby, and in another video, I was actually buying the building materials, the bricks and the cement and the other thing. Now, in this stage, we are looking at the foundation digging inspection. What I then did in this video, I also had a chance to ask the inspector some of the questions that I had. I may have missed out some of the questions. Please go ahead and leave any questions that you may have in the comment section. We may have people that are also inspectors that can actually help us, but I had to ask them some of the burning questions that you may have. And for a moment, he spoke about soil formation. I felt like I'm in geography class. He said, when you look at the foundation that has been done, you have to look at the type of soil formation that is there. And from there, you can decide what type of foundation that needs to be done. He indicated that there are some times when you do the digging, you can see that the soil is weak or is strong, and that determines the type of foundation that you're supposed to put in the ground. That was really an amazing tip. And I really don't know the details, but he said sometimes you may dig the foundation and you find that there is a lot of gravel. The ground is a lot of stones. It simply means that the ground is very strong. And you then decide what to do next. I don't want to give you advice because I'm not an inspector. Just wait a few seconds and then I'm going to be asking him some questions in this very video. But one of the important things that he also picked up was something that is on the house plan. So let me just go ahead and show you what he showed me. Right now, I'm actually holding this house plan, and it's what he has been holding. So one thing that you need to take note of is that these house plans, you're given like 3 or 4 sets. One is the one that you give to the builder, and then the other one stays at the offices or the council office, and one is the one that you use for inspection. So this is the one that I'm actually using for inspection. I need to make sure that I keep it clean as much as possible so that all the stages can be approved. So looking at this plan, this is what the inspector managed to pick on this building. Okay, so he said that there is a main bedroom here and there's ensuite. Okay, and he said I don't see a wall here because according to the ensuite here there is a BIC, that is built-in cabinet. And if we are going to put a built-in cabinet here, because according to this diagram it closes this part and no one is going to be able to enter in the ensuite here. So he said it's either you have to put a wall here and a door, or you can leave it open and then you put a pillar right here. So this is something that I had to learn today. So I guess it also makes sense when you're looking at this house plan. So let me go ahead and ask him some of the questions that I asked him. And again, like I said, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section below, and I'm sure that we have got some people that are watching this video that are inspectors as well that can actually help us. So let me go ahead and ask him the burning questions that I have. So the digging has been done and we are with the inspector, and he actually looked at what he was supposed to look at, and I'm going to ask some of the questions that I have for him. And he actually looked at the plan and then went around this place to check for the things that needs to be done. So I'm just going to ask him some few questions so that we get to learn about this stage, because we cannot proceed without their approval if there are any corrections to be done and things like that. So the first question that I have for him is why is the stage, why is inspection important, and why is it done?
Basically, it's a measure of compliance because the building construction follows the model bylaws. So it's an enforcement, it's a must. Because at the end of the day, people may need their title deeds. So this is the primary stage that builds up to the certificate of occupation. And it can only happen if everything is done above board and following the right protocols.
Okay, that's good. So what happens if a person skips this stage? Is there a way to whereby in the future they can get caught up to say you haven't done the proper thing, why didn't you do the inspection and things like that?
Yeah, there are penalties associated with the skipping stages and so extra costs because it may need extra engineer certificates, and the process of proving that is costly in terms of time as well as taxing in terms of labor. So it's cheaper and fair and workable if things are done correctly the first time. Yeah.
Okay. And what are some of the common mistakes that you have come across in your industry that people make when they are digging the foundation? Whereby you say, "Hey, we have realized a mistake there." What are some of the common mistake that people make?
Yeah, the common one is positioning of the building. It has got to be properly positioned, uh, leaving the servitude areas for the council, those 1.5 meters from the sides, 2.2 meters from the back, 3 meters from the front, unless there is a pre-approval of encroachment. If that's not added to, that means the original 1.5, 2 meters from the back, 3 meters from the front should be added to. Then the second common error, if I may say, is the trenching. It's unfortunate I didn't see the error here. I would have not pointed right. We emphasize and always enforce that the trench should be level. It has to be not just a trench, but it must be well leveled, well trimmed, and dug to a bearing ground where it is it has got the capacity to hold the footing concrete.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so let's say you come to a trench or any stage per se, and there's been an error that has been done. What sort of measures do you put in terms of going forward? Do you sign the papers and say correct this, or you have them correct and sign later and something like that?
First things first, it should be done correctly.
Okay. It should be done correct. So now I understand that every stage of inspection is a paid one. So let's say there's an error that has been done. Does this incur any other cost when you have to come back for inspection again?
The same payment made prior to the inspection should be paid because it's an enforcement procedure.
Okay. So our audience may have some other questions that I may not have asked you. You have been in this industry for a long time. What some of tips, advice do you give to people who are building out there when they are doing their inspection? What sort of tips would you say? Maybe something that I did not ask you that you feel like you say, you should have asked me this. I come across this a lot and I want to give tips like this.
Maybe what you should emphasize on your clients mostly is they must have an appetite for quality material first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because quality material will ensure that we've got a sound structure.
Okay.
Then we also enforce that with the professionals, people who know what they're doing,
Okay.
people who are jealous of the client's needs, not just a paycheck and they go, but they must also know that whoever is paying money is hard earned. And whatever we are building must at least go for 55 years without structural repairs.
Okay.
That's the whole essence of trying to enforce all these bylaws and stage inspections.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one last question that came into my mind is that let's say there's an error that has been done, probably by the builders and on building, and you have come to inspect and you say now you condemn a structure or you condemn anything that needs to be done. And I understand you said if you have to call you again for inspection, there's a cost that comes. Who pays for that cost? Is it the project owner or the builders that made the mistake?
That's a consensus the builder and the owner should reach
agree
to.
on.
Yeah, because at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
we shouldn't be worried about the costs, but we should be worried about the health of the structure. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the structure we are worried about,
Okay.
not the cost.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. So that was the inspector sharing some of his knowledge in terms of the work that he does. My name is Kuda. I'm on a mission, and my mission is simple: is to learn what it takes to build a house. I'm going to be asking all these questions to different service providers, negotiating prices, going from place to place, finding what it takes to build a house. And at the end of this series, I want to learn how much it costs to build a house, how much it takes. What are some of the nuggets that people should ask or learn along the way? That's my mission. And if you haven't seen some of my videos that I've actually done in the past, go ahead and check them out and see when this project actually started out from zero to where it is now. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to hearing from you soon, and your feedback is really amazing. Thank you so much, and bye for now.